Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast, 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. I think I was about 9 years old, between 8 and 9 years old, the first time I was told, get in the driver's seat and put it in gear and hold your foot on the brake until I tell you not to anymore. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and yes, at the time that was my stepdad trying to move some old cross ties out of the garden, and the only way to move them was to hook a vehicle up to them. And so he tied a rope around the back bumper of his El Camino, tied the other end of the rope to these cross ties that somebody had buried in the garden. He got a pry bar and a shovel and was working the cross ties and told me to get in the car and put my foot on the brake and then put it in gear and let off the brake so that the rolling of the car would actually pull the cross ties out of the ground. At one point he said, okay, give it a little bit of gas, and I didn't know what the gas was. But here I am at 9 years old with car keys and a car that runs and drives, and I'm behind the wheel of a moving vehicle and nobody else is in the car but me. Now imagine had that rope come loose, how far that car could have gone, and I wouldn't have known how to stop it or what the gas was or the brake was or what I was doing right or what I was doing wrong. But suddenly I had this kind of power at my fingertips. Today I want to talk about a conversation I had yesterday with a couple of people, senior leaders from the Congo. And we talked about the idea that about 60 years ago, the Congo fought for independence from Belgium. And about 60 years ago, when they fought for that independence, there was a lot of wealth and a lot of affluence, if you will, in the country of the Congo. Much of it belonged to the Belgians because they were the leading aristocrats, if you will. But as the freedom, the independence, the separation from Belgium came about in the Congo, a lot of the things you would expect to go along with independence, well, they didn't happen. Part of that, honestly, was geopolitics, and part of that was the evolution of our globe, even from a societal standpoint, over the last 60 years. Part of that, too, though, was that in a lot of ways, the economy and the political structure and the societal structure of the Congo 60 years ago was not unlike me at 9 years old behind the wheel of an El Camino. A whole lot of power, a whole lot of opportunity, a whole lot of potential, but untrained and unplanned and without any guidance as to what was going to happen next. I could have been a reckless mess. Unfortunately, I wasn't. But when you look at the potential of an organization, the potential of an individual, and you hear of this fight for freedom and independence, I know, I was a teenager too. Yes, it's been a minute. But I was a teenager. I know what it means to fight for independence. I want to do things my own way. I want to make my own decisions. I want to have my own car, and I want to have my own keys to the house. I want to come and go as I please, and it's none of your business what I do. Stay out of my business. I understand that. I also understand that there's a difference, and I'm going to use my own definitions, my own homemade definitions, if you will, between independence and freedom. See, I believe that freedom would be like me behind the wheel of that car. I'm free to go. You got the keys, you got the power, you've got the vehicle, you've got the means to move, to go off on your own. But see, that freedom is not a license to be destructive, although sometimes it is. The independence is a whole different thing. A teenager with a new driver's license has the freedom to come and go, but do they have the ability to pay for their own car insurance, to pay for their car note, to put gas in the car, to feed themselves? They may have the freedom to come and go as they choose, but do they have the independence to truly live on their own? See, I think freedom is a license to do a certain number of things, but independence is the ability to do it on your own. It's not just being released to do, it's also being capable to do. And as leaders, I believe we have a very powerful responsibility, both in our own lives and in the lives of those that we lead and influence, to make sure that when we release someone with the freedom to go and do, whether it's an assignment or a task within the organization, or it's to release them to run their own organization, or it's to release them to lead a family, or it's to release them to lead a nation, that by the time we let go of them, we have some inclination that they're able to self-sustain, that they have the ability to pursue this opportunity with all the tools necessary to be successful at it. Freedom and independence are not the same. Freedom might give you a lot more choices. Independence gives you not only the choices, but the ability to stand up behind them and do something good with them. I challenge you as leaders, when you're working for your own freedom and your own independence, ask yourself that question constantly. Am I capable? Am I able to use the freedom that I have to do good and move in the right direction? If not, you may want to hang on for a minute and learn a little more before you set out on your own freedom. And if you're a leader releasing someone else, ask yourself the same question. Are they able? Are they ready? Will setting them loose be like putting a 9-year-old behind the wheel of a car? Or will it be truly releasing them into their own independent opportunity to do something brand new? I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Leadership team. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitude hack